Hi, Charlotte. Hey, hey, hey. Just a couple more seconds. Hey, Meg. Tracy. From Oklahoma. From where at in Oklahoma? Oh, okay. Down south. How is it there? Is it flooding there? Hi, Lisa. Hi, Janet from Australia. You probably would love to have a flood. I guess it depends on where you're at. Okay, so I'll go ahead and start. What you see behind me is the Arkansas River. Let me see here. That right there is actually not dry ground. That is a debris pile from trash that's piled up. As you can see, that's the Arkansas River. It is flowing very, very rapidly, and it is flowing at about, I would say right now, the width of this where I'm at is probably, if I was going to guess, maybe 600 to 700 yards wide. I'm gonna walk down here and see if I can get a different view, maybe more river. But I'm walking along a trail, and it's basically, depending on where you're at on the trail, anywhere from 3 to 5 feet higher than the level of the river right now. Raised in Bixby, cool. So it's already flooded. It's already out of its banks on the north side. It's getting out of its banks on the south side, and it's only going to get worse until midnight. And at 10 o'clock, we should actually know if we're going to actually have to let out even more water than what they're currently at. Let me talk about that for just a second. Currently, they are emptying 250 CFS out of the dam. And can everybody see okay? And what we're seeing right here is 235 CFS. The 250, the ramifications of the 250 won't even be at us until midnight. I just had dinner with the fire chief, and he was basically telling me that the way that they figured it is for every 15,000 CFS, I believe, of water that they've been releasing, it's affected the river level by 2 feet. And he said currently at the 235 CFS, we have about 2 feet to spare. So whenever at midnight, when we get to the 250, when we see the 250 here in Bixby, it'll be, nobody knows what exactly is going to happen. And so they're actually being told, kind of under the table, under everybody's breath, buffering really bad at my place. Is everybody else being affected? Here comes a good shot of what we've got river level wise right there. So this right here, this area right here is about 5 feet higher And I don't know if you can see all the way over there, but that's a sod field and it's flooded. So 250,000 gets here at midnight. They don't really know exactly what it's going to do. The fire chief hasn't slept in about 4 days, he said. He said at 250,000, he gets to make a determination as to whether or not he gets to go to sleep or not, because they won't change that flow rate at least until the morning. However, we are expecting an announcement sometime from the GRDA, or the Army Corps of Engineers rather, as to, usually at about 9 or 10 o'clock, they give you kind of a little heads up, or they have been, as to, hey, like, they need to have all the municipalities that are going to be affected at our special meeting at, like, the next meeting. Is the wind getting anybody? Am I doing a good job of blocking it, or is the audio terrible? Lisa, this normally is one of the, it's really not, can't hear due to wind. Okay, I was afraid of that. Let me try to get out of the wind here. Sorry. Behind the structure. There's a ton of people coming out here to see all of this. Yo, how are you? Wonderful. I have no idea who that is, by the way. Okay, almost there. 2 seconds. Okay, is that better? I think that should be better. I don't feel the wind. If it's not better, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. So, they're expecting a phone call from the Army Corps of Engineers sometime probably around 9 or 10 o'clock. And, oh, Janet, really? Where at in Tulsa? And at that time, they'll get an inclination as to whether or not they even have to increase from 250,000 to go up. And basically what I was told unofficially was that if they go above the 250,000 where they're at now, it's the river's going out everywhere. That's what they're being told. That's what the modeling is showing. They have been unofficially told to prepare for 300,000, which puts us at the level of when we had the great big 1986 flood here. And he said if that happens, everything south of the river, including where I'm standing right now, will be underwater. He said the river will be going out in uncontrollable places. Anywhere that it fingers off, anywhere that it's just a little bit low, water will just be spilling out. So it's kind of, we do have a higher water table. It's kind of a guessing game right now. West Tulsa by the levee in the flood zone. Yep. You were forced to evacuate, Janet? There goes a bicycle with a motor on it. Kind of defeats the purpose. So we'll know more in the morning. We'll know more at midnight right now as to whether or not the river's going to get out. So hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully they've done a lot of flood work since 1986 to try to help control this situation. Right now they say everything has handled up. Right now they're calling this about 160 at 235,000 with the river levels that they're out. They're calling this about 160 year flood zone. And right now we've been able to, kindly encouraged by the sheriff. Yeah, I get it. I'm sorry to hear that. If you need a place to stay, private message me. They've been, I remember the flood of 86. We had to get out of our apartment. Yep. So if they, I don't even remember what I was talking about now, but it's, they've done quite a bit of improvements. So it actually has handled everything to this point a whole lot better than what the models have been predicting. So we're hoping that everything ends up working out okay. And we don't have to worry about much. So that's kind of the update. It's at 235,000 CFS right now. That's what we're seeing here. However, it's up to, they're releasing 250,000 CFS. We haven't seen the ramifications of the 250,000 CFS yet. We won't see it until midnight. Nobody is sure whether or not our river down here, our levees, our dikes can even hold that level. So it's kind of a guessing game right now. Definitely in areas it can definitely handle 2 more feet and rise. In some areas it can't. So we'll see how that goes. And however, if they call everybody in the morning and say we're definitely letting out more, then it's gonna be real bad. The fire chief was telling me that Red Cross has already called. The Washington has been calling. They're prepared to, I guess, call this a natural disaster anytime. And of course it's on the national news, but I don't really watch the national news just because I'm pretty sure that he's not supposed to have a truck there. So anyways, we'll see where we're at in the morning. If it's bad, check my Facebook, Blackberry Ridge on Facebook, Blackberry Ridge OK on Instagram, and I'll shoot out an update in the morning. Not that you couldn't just do a Google search and find it anyways, but if it is bad and it's something worth showing, I will probably go live in the morning and go from there. So I'm gonna give it just a couple minutes, see does anybody have any questions, or is there anything that I have missed in the live chat. I have got a little bit of ADD, so I'm not quite used to trying to keep up with all of the chat talk while trying to get my point across. So if there's any questions, fire away. Anything you think I didn't cover. There are definitely road closures. There's neighborhood closures. They've definitely closed down neighborhoods and roads. Wow, 2015. Red River is above it. Wow. Okay, well, I'm gonna jump off here. I'll give you one last view of the river, try to cover up the microphone as best I can, and then I'll sign off unless somebody else has anything. My mom's trying to call me. She's probably afraid I'm not going to be able to make it past the bridge. She thinks the bridge is going to go out. If that happens, we've got huge problems. Let me turn this camera around so you guys can see it. Did you guys bring any fishing poles? No? I would like to have some of that driftwood. Okay guys, that's the update for today. Like I said, if it gets bad tomorrow, I'll show you tomorrow, but I know I'm standing out in the wind again. It's Oklahoma, what can we say? I'll sign off here and see you guys later. Thanks for watching.